everyone, and welcome to episode number 3 of West through West. Today's show is going to be exciting. I'm actually excited about this particular show because the dish we're about to prepare is going to be done first time, first hand on the show. It's a new recipe I've been thinking about. As you already know, the background of the show West through West, it's going to be about infusing cultures, techniques from culinary background from across the world, my Pan-African background, and the westernized world. So for today's dish, we're going to do a very authentic traditional dish paired up with a westernized or Italian ingredient. I don't know if you're familiar with what the Nigerians call Moi-Moi. In my country, Sierra Leone, we call it olele, but today my take on it, it's going to be a pasta which is usually stuffed with cheese. So Moi-Moi is a savory bread pudding. Savory means it's not only sweet, it's spicy, sweet, all flavors blending. So we're going to do a pasta stuffed Moi-Moi, and we're going to do a palm butter sauce, because with every pasta dish you need a nice rich sauce. The Italians would traditionally use tomato sauce or cream sauce, but for my Pan-African background, we're going to make the palm butter from Palmnut cream, which I have here. So I'm excited about today's show because we're taking things a little out of my comfort zone, out of the box. It's going to be done live on this show, trying this recipe for the very first time. So today's show is going to be a pasta stuffed Moi-Moi with a palm butter sauce. So today's dish is going to be protein packed, but to have a complete balanced meal, you want to have your 3 important segments of a meal: your protein, your starch, and your veg. I told you that's one thing we as Africans struggle with, incorporating veg. So traditionally this dish is not paired with any veggies, but I'll try to sneak in some veggies into the dish. So Moi-Moi, or olele as we call it in Sierra Leone, you could use any beans, but the preferred bean of choice is black-eyed peas, which is full of protein. I'm going to be using some crayfish, blend of herbs, some bouillon cube, chicken base here, my secret ingredient, some garlic cloves, and you could use any fish of your choice, but I like dry mackerel. I'm going to add some hot water to it just to bring it back alive. And for the Nigerians in particular, they would add eggs to their Moi-Moi. So I'm going to take a twist on it. These are beautiful quail eggs. So I'll be getting some hot water on the mackerel, just to bring it back alive a little bit. While I soak the fish up a little bit, I'm going to add a little bit of salt, and then you want to put a little bit of oil. For my pasta, I'll be using some jumbo shells. Once it comes to a boil, you want to cook them al dente because we'll be baking them. They're going to be nicely open. That way we could pour our Moi-Moi mix into it and whatever stuffing we have, and then we'll bake it in the Moi-Moi mix. So for the Moi-Moi, we're going to be using some black-eyed peas. You want to soak it 24 hours. Once you've soaked it for 24 hours, it's going to actually look like this. And then you want to try to strain it, because all this husk is what you're trying to get out. I'm going to add the beans. We're gonna take 1 sweet onions. Few garlic cloves. You wanna get 1 sweet bell pepper. I'm gonna rinse it out a little bit, and then I'm just gonna chop this up. And I actually had a comment from the last episode. Somebody said they noticed I'm not wearing gloves, and of course, as a professional chef, you always want to keep your food safe and wear gloves. But remember, this episode is being shot for home use. So, except if you're working with some delicate ingredients that you don't want to get your hands messy, but you could keep your hands clean by frequently washing them. A couple of bouillon cubes, a little bit of this blend, since we're doing an Italian twist, so this is some Italian blend, a little bit of salt. You always want to have a little bit of salt, and 1 Scotch pepper for heat. I love heat, so 1 Scotch pepper. You want to get some water to at least cover up your beans. And then this is chicken base for flavor for my moi-moi. And now we're gonna blend it. A moi-moi mix here. A little bit of this house blend seasoning, some oil, about 1/2 cup of oil, and then the crayfish I'm gonna blend and add it in there. The crayfish. Alright, so I'm just gonna let this set while the water is going for the pasta. I'm gonna get working on my fish. I'm actually gonna keep parts of the fish because I'll be using them to make the sauce, and it'll add flavor to it. But this is for the moi-moi, so I'm just gonna chop this up really nicely. I'm gonna add my pasta into it. It's gonna come to a boil. We'll be actually putting the moi-moi mix in, so it's chilling while the other component of the dish is being worked on. Alright, so I'll be introducing you to a process called shocking. So I'm gonna start by straining the water out. That is hot. I'll add the pasta here. And then add some water. For the moi-moi, I'm just gonna line these up a little bit with some grease so it doesn't stick. It's easy to come out when it's done baking. I'm just gonna grease. I'm gonna take these pasta shells. Line it up like so. And in each of these, I'm gonna take some of this fish. Because you wanna stuff it. It's okay if some of the fish goes in there. Alright, and then I wanna put a few. You'd see how it all come out when we're done. And these quail eggs, I'm gonna try to put 1 quail egg . One egg. This is amazing. Quail, these are little birds. So these eggs are packed with protein. So this is gonna be amazing. So I'm actually gonna fill each of these ramekin with my Moi-Moi mix. Line it, cover it up. You could steam this, but I'm gonna bake it. That's why I added the water. It's nicely lined up, and I'm going to about 35 to 40 minutes. 350-degree oven. There you have it. For the next segment of the dish, we're gonna make the sauce. To make the palm butter sauce, you're gonna use what we call, from the Palmnut plant, it's a Palmnut cream. It's very famous in Liberia and Ghana as well, but this is the Palmnut cream. So you don't need to add any fat, because this alone, by definition, Palmnut cream contains a lot of fat once it's melted. So with that, some salt, some spices, bouillon cube, bay leaves, scotch peppers, okra, and onions. As I said earlier, I like the flavor of red onions, so you'll see me using them a lot. So I'm just gonna cut this onion up a little bit. So I'm just gonna dice this. And a few garlic cloves. This was that fish. Told you I was not gonna some of the Palmnut cream. A couple of bay leaves, some herbs, Italian burn herbs. Bouillon cubes, a little bit of salt, and some of that secret, some water. I'm gonna let this cook down. So now we're just waiting for all the dish to come together. So I'm gonna start working on the garnishing aspect of it. So I have 3 remaining quail eggs here. I'm going to poach them, and that would serve as one of the elements when you garnish your dish, because not only adding flavor or building flavor, you also want to present your dish in a wow way. So to poach an egg, this is some distilled white vinegar, simple. If you want different flavors, you could add different flavor vinegar, but I'm just going to use equal part vinegar to equal part water. So I'm going to bring it to a boil and then reduce it to a simmer before I drop my eggs. So that's your vinegar. Then I'm going to add equal part water. I just want that to come to a boil, then I'll drop my eggs. I'll drop the eggs. Done. Alright, and now for the most exciting part of the show, plating, of course. So we have the moi-moi that is set. Remember, we had the pasta in there. And I'm gonna take some of this bean sprout. It's just a sprout from the same beans that we pureed, and then let's garnish. Alright, episode 3 is a wrap, and today's dish came out as expected. It's pasta shell stuffed moi-moi with a palm butter sauce. It's garnished with some braised okra, a little garden or nest of the bean sprout that we use to make the moi-moi. There you have it. Bon appetit. A little bit of pasta, the moi-moi or olele, the palm butter sauce. Oh my God. I'm sorry you guys don't get to try this, but this is good. It is good. Until next time, remember to like, share, and subscribe to our videos. Follow us on Instagram at West_through_West. Facebook, West Through West. Our YouTube channel is West Through West by Fadges. And email all your comments, concerns, thoughts, anything you want to share with us at westthroughwest@gmail.com. Thank you.